So you're thinking about moving to the Waynesboro, Virginia area, but what if you could live just outside the city limits and still be just minutes away from shopping, like what's behind me, restaurants, and everyday conveniences, and you can enjoy a neighborhood setting that just feels a little quieter and a little more relaxing and maybe a little more like home? Well, in this video, I'm taking you through 3 homes in 3 different neighborhoods and 3 different price points that are just outside Waynesboro and its city limits, so you can see what you might be looking for. And if you hang around throughout the video, I'm going to share you 3 big reasons why so many buyers are choosing to live just outside Waynesboro instead of just inside the city limits. So, I guess call this maybe a little bit of a mini pros and cons video. But before we do all that, let's go ahead and get started right now. All right, well, welcome to Waynesboro, Virginia. So before we jump in and see some of those homes though, if you're not familiar with Waynesboro, here's 5 quick facts that you might want to know. First of all, number 1, Waynesboro is one of Virginia's smaller independent cities with a population of about 22,000 people. Number 2, it's often called the gateway to the Blue Ridge because it sits right near the Blue Ridge Parkway and Skyline Drive, and you got the Appalachian Trail running through those mountains as well. Number 3, you're only about 10 minutes from the southern entrance to the beautiful Shenandoah National Park and Skyline Drive. Number 4, for a smaller city, Waynesboro actually has a surprising amount of well-known shopping and everyday conveniences. Like where I'm at right now, you've got down there in the end, you got Boot Barn, if you like Boot Barn, you got Target, Burlington Coat Factory, Ross, PetSmart, Old Navy, Hibbett Sports, a Kohl's. So that's all right here in the Waynesboro Town Center, just right off of Interstate 64. Now, in addition to that, you go across the other side of the interstate, you're gonna find a Walmart, a Lowe's, a Home Depot, and then there's plenty of restaurants around the area here too. Additionally though, there's mom and pop stores around the area too. A lot of them are in downtown Waynesboro. For example, a couple of Leslie's favorites are the Rusticay and the Boutique in the Borough. Both of those are kind of more like a women's clothing shop. And there's other things in there as well, but she likes to go in there. They are pretty neat places. But anyway, speaking of Interstate 64, I mentioned that. If you live here in the Waynesboro area, one of the nice things about it is a lot of people work over in Charlottesville. And you've got quick access to Interstate 64 to get over across the mountain from Charlottesville. So that's number 5. And like I said, those are just 5 quick things. You watch some of our other videos, I'll tell you a lot more about Waynesboro as well. And oh, by the way, I didn't introduce myself. My name's Stephan. My wife Leslie and I are local real estate agents here. We help people all the time find the homes of their dreams. But like I say, we just talked about a little bit of the Waynesboro information, but I want to show you 3 homes that are just outside, and actually some of them are just inside the city limits here in Waynesboro. And so let's get into our first neighborhood here. And along the way though, I'm going to tell you the 3 reasons why so many people are choosing to live just outside the Waynesboro city limits rather than inside. So let's get on down to the road here a couple miles. We'll get to our first home. All right, so we're here in our first neighborhood, and I'll tell you what neighborhood that is here in just a second, just outside Waynesboro. Well, most of it's outside Waynesboro. I'll explain in a second, but right now I wanted to tell you the number 1 reason why a lot of people consider living just outside Waynesboro rather than inside the city limits, and that is property taxes. Boy, we all love property taxes, don't we? But the reason why people want to live in the county here is because in Waynesboro, the assessment rate is 82 cents on every $100, and in Augusta County, it's only 52 cents on every $100. And let's put it in real numbers. Let's suppose you have a home that's valued at $600,000. Well, if you live in Waynesboro, your annual property tax rate is going to be about $4,920. But if you live in Augusta County, just outside the boundaries there, you're only looking at $3,120, and that's almost a $2,000 difference every year, and that really adds up over time. So what neighborhood am I in? Well, I am in the Stratford Commons neighborhood, and if you look down there, I mentioned that Stratford Commons is partially in Waynesboro and partially in the county, Augusta County here. But if you look down there, some of the houses down there on that side are actually in Waynesboro, and then the houses over here, some of those, or all of these, are in Augusta County. And here, if you look at this map, it kind of gives you a better picture of it. You can see where Stratford Commons actually has some of those homes inside the city limits and some out. And that's one of the things where it really pays to have a local realtor like Leslie and myself that can help you determine things like that, because one house over may be the difference in almost $2,000 a year in taxes. And so you're gonna have a Waynesboro mailing address, whether you're inside the city limits or just outside the city limits. But you're not gonna know where that city line is if you don't know, you don't know, right? And that's why we love to help people to learn about those things. And so, but let's talk about this neighborhood. Some of the things I like. Okay, first of all, let's talk a little bit about the homes. As you're looking around, you kind of see these homes on this end here are like all attached villa style homes. Now down on the other end down there, there's some single family or some detached homes. And so there's a little bit of mixture here, but a lot of the homes here are these attached villa style homes. And another thing is, as I turn in circles here, I really like this kind of like this neighborhood green space out here. Really, really nice, and just nice place to come out. And it's just around here in the back, it's all country. And so another thing about the neighborhood that I like, it would be a fantastic place if you don't want to do work. So you don't want to mow your yard, you don't want to shovel snow, maybe you're retiring. This would be a great place, nice upscale neighborhood here to get in and to do that. Additionally, maybe you just don't want to do that and you're not retired. Same thing there. Additionally, a lot of, as you can see, the homes have brick facades on them, and it's really just a really neat place here. It's packed away in the back here, and it's kind of one of these little nice neighborhoods, kind of like a hidden neighborhood on the Waynesboro and Augusta County border. Now, as I walk across the village green, I'm gonna go right over here. Oh man, beautiful views of the mountain out back there. But anyway, the home that you see me here is currently active on the market. It's listed for $509,000. It was built in 1991. Has 3 bedrooms and 3 baths. 2,425 finished square feet of living space. You break it down, it's $210 a square foot, and its lot size is a 0.18 acre lot. Now, as I mentioned, and you might be able to peek through there and see, but one of the things I really like about this home is that it backs up to pasture land. And what's behind you in the pasture? There's horses that you can watch run around the pasture, graze in the grass, and it's just a really beautiful setting. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and I'm going to show you some of the homes of this really, really nice home in this really, really nice neighborhood here of Stratford Commons. All right, so we've literally come just a few hundred yards down the way here into our next neighborhood, but I'll tell you a little bit about it in a second. But first of all, reason number 2 that makes Waynesboro, makes living outside of Waynesboro desirable to a lot of people, and that is that the overall property values in Augusta County versus Waynesboro are a little bit higher than they are in Waynesboro. And you can see here this graph. In 2025, the average value of a home sold in Augusta County was nearly $60,000 greater than in Waynesboro. However, to be fair, sometimes numbers can be misleading, right? And I always want to be truthful and honest. So one of the things about the homes in the county versus the city is that the homes that are in the county, they have land that come with them, larger tracts of land. So that raises the price. I mean, it's the country, right? So when you really compare homes, if you compare apples to apples, compare all the homes that have an acre or less, the difference is, Augusta County is still more, but it's only about $15,000 difference. But like I say, it's still greater, but the spread isn't quite as big as it was before. And that's going to lead me to my final point, which I'll tell you here as soon as I get done showing you this neighborhood and telling you about this home here in the Stratford Estates neighborhood. Now, there's actually 3 neighborhoods in this area named Stratford. And as you can see here on the map, Stratford Estates lies completely outside the Waynesboro city limits, while Stratford Farms and Stratford Commons lie partially in the city and partially in the country, or in the county, I should say. So we're totally inside the county today here in this neighborhood, but some of the homes you're going to see here, a lot of Cape Cods, there's colonial style homes, there's traditional style homes. So when you look at the homes, I mean, you look at this one here, look at that one there. I mean, this is not a cookie cutter neighborhood, right? This is a really, really nice neighborhood, and a lot of brick facades here as well. And these homes are pretty much the largest homes that we're going to see on average today of the 3 neighborhoods we're going to look at. And they're also the highest valued homes here in these 3 neighborhoods as well. And like all the neighborhoods I'm going to show you today, as you can tell, just look around, you can see, you can really tell that the neighbors, they really take pride in making sure that their lots and their homes, that they're well maintained. And now, the thing about this home that I'm going to show you though, and the neighborhood is, the neighborhood only has about 40 or so homes in it. And so when a home comes on the market, you're gonna wanna move on it quickly. Call Leslie, call me, let us know that you need that help, because they don't always stay on the market very long. And that is exactly what happened, excuse me, that's exactly what happened to the home that I'm gonna show you right across the way here, because it was only a matter of days from the time that I picked this home to showing this video that it had a contract on it. But you know what, let's take a look at it anyway, because it'll give you a great idea what some of the homes are like here, so that when another one comes onto the market that suits your needs and your tastes, you can be the one that puts the offer on it, right? So this home right here, as I said, it has a contract on it now, but it was listed for $659,900. It was built in 1990. It has 3 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, and 1 half bath. 4,179 finished square feet of living space, 2,944 is above ground, 1,035 is below ground, but it also has an additional 1,379 that's unfinished above ground, so a lot of room in this home. Also, if you break that down, it's only $158 a square foot, and it sits on a 0.64 acre lot. Now, I just love the way this home looks. And you can maybe see back there, I talked about the horses behind. Well, we're just kind of around the corner from that, and there's some more of that pasture land back there and everything. Now, I think the setting's gorgeous here. I love the home. And you're here at the end of a cul-de-sac as well. And some things about it real quick. There's been some updates to it. And you're going to see inside. There's plenty of reasons why this home had a contract on it within 17 days. So let's take a closer look here at this home in Stratford Estates. All right, so we're in our last neighborhood, and this neighborhood, I'm going to tell you about it in just a second. But first of all, let's do reason number 3 that many people live outside the city limits of Waynesboro. And that is because the fact that really, because there's more homes in the county than there's the city, you've got more home style options and more property options as well. Now, don't get me wrong. Waynesboro has a lot of different type of property options, from established homes in the more established older sections of town to homes like in the neighborhoods we're seeing today. And even additionally, there are several new build neighborhoods inside the city limits of Waynesboro as well, where you can find that new home if you like. But the thing that's really different I think the big difference is that there's a difference in how the property feels, and it's the property itself. I mean, for example, if you get in the county, you can purchase a home just like the neighborhoods we've been in today, but maybe you want to move out into the country a little bit. And out in the country, you can get some acreage and you can really get that privacy. Or maybe you like small town living. Now, Waynesboro's not a big city, but maybe in that small town living, maybe you find a home in a little small town like Stewart's Draft or Fishersville or Mount Sidney, Churchville, places like that. And just really, I guess you would say, it really just gives it its own vibe, living in the county. And it's a different vibe than in the city. Now, of course, the styles of houses, you've got farmhouses, you've got a lot of different types of contemporary houses, all sorts of houses in the county, just like you do in the city as well. But what neighborhood are we in? This neighborhood that we're in, which has its own vibe, just like the country does, is the Wellington neighborhood. And as you see here on the map, the Wellington neighborhood actually shares a border with Stratford Estates, but you can't get to it from Stratford Estates. You got to go back out to Highway 250 and come into the neighborhood by itself. So it really is separate, and it's similar. You're going to see a lot of similar home styles. The neighborhood feels a little bit similar, although the homes, like I say, in the other neighborhood, a little bit larger and a little bit higher value as well. But now some of the things I like, I'm going to change hands here, show you some of the homes up this way, and that way you're not looking in the sun. So like you saw some of the ones I was walking by there, and then you see some larger homes here in the neighborhood as well. There's a variety of home styles here. Again, not cookie cutter, a lot of brick here in the neighborhood. And in the neighborhood, which is separated into both single family detached homes, and there's also townhomes and condo style homes as well. Even in that townhome and condo style, there's like a median that goes between the townhomes, separates them. They could have put a lot more townhomes in that area, but they didn't do that. So they're not all just crammed in there like you see a lot of times in those townhome neighborhoods or parts of neighborhoods. And then another thing is the size of the lots here. You're going to find a lot of lots that are about a half an acre to an acre, and or even more than that. And like I say, you got just a really nice neighborhood. As a matter of fact, one of the houses we just drove by, and Leslie said, had told me earlier, says, you're going to go in that neighborhood, and sold a house in there. And so we drove by it and saw it, and great folks that live there as well. Now, another thing, there's a handful of homes in this neighborhood. It's over $1 million as well. But the home that I want to show you here is right there, because that's the one that is currently for sale here in this neighborhood. It is listed for $450,000. It was built in 1999. It has 3 bedrooms, and it has 2 baths, full baths, and 1 half bath. Has 2,005 above ground finished square feet of living space, and there's additionally another 528 that's above ground that's unfinished. If you break it down, it's $224 a square foot, and it sits on a 0.58 acre lot. And like I say, kind of really nice, like just a little corner lot here, and a really nice place to call home. Shade in the backyard there and everything. But this is one of those homes, again, as you can see, with that nice brick facade and a nice 2-car garage there as well. And there's some other nice features about it as well, and I'll show you some of the photos and what it looks like inside. Well, that's a little bit about Waynesboro and 3 great neighborhoods just outside of town that, for the reasons I gave, many people often choose to call home. And hey, what else could you want? An Ollie's. I mean, we're literally like a minute and a half from where we just were in the last neighborhood. And if you're not in one of the 34 states that Ollie's is in, well, I'll just describe it this way. When I grew up in a really small town, they had this store in town, and it was called the Bargain Barn. That's Ollie's. As you see their slogan, good stuff cheap. So you go in there, you're not sure what you're gonna find, but you might find something, might not. But anyway, if you don't know what Ollie's is, now you know, I guess. So, but anyway, if you're looking for a home in any of these neighborhoods or anywhere here in our beautiful mountains and valleys of Virginia here, give Leslie and I a call. We'd be happy to help. But until next time, here from Ollie's, I'll see you around town.